Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Polt and Suppy on Ruins of Endion. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is Polt. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Suppy. Yeah, I think Suppy is better well known as a Warcraft 3 player. But yeah, he plays StarCraft as well for Evil Geniuses. And let's get right on into it. Alrighty then, so let's see. This is looking like a Reaper Expand, which is the same strategy that Polt uses in all games against Zerg. We will see if we are correct. Alright, so Ruins of Endion is a pretty good map, I think. I've seen a lot of these, so I figure players are not vetoing it, which means that it's pretty popular among the professional scene. And this right here symbolizes the quickest route between the two bases. I know it's weird, but hey, this is the route down from your natural. Yep, there's the hatchery first. You just go down here, knock these rocks out, knock these rocks out, and bam, you're at your opponent's opposing natural ramp. So, basically what that means is it's a rush distance that is pretty short, but it does take a while to get there. So if you're going to Ling rush somebody or just do like a proxy, like an adept attack or something like that, you can't get this way. You have to go all the way up and over and around and then down to your opponent's base. And it does take a little bit longer to get there. But again, it prevents that rushing, but does allow for an easier attack path in the mid to late game as soon as somebody decides to actually knock these rocks out. You also have what could be an easy to take third base here, but you do have to knock these rocks out too. Zerg players will likely go ahead and take their third bases here, whereas Terran and Protoss are more likely to get it here just because it is closer. It is along an attack path they're going anyway, and it's not a huge deal. So, yep, like I said, one Rax Expand here from Polt. There's the Reaper. He knows what he likes, and he does what he likes. I think the Overlord scouted that one out. Yep, Overlord scouted it out perfectly. Here comes the Reaper in production for Suppy. We do have a spawning pool just now popping, and immediately 2 queens, 2 lings. Actually, not more than that, which is surprising. Usually you want at least 4 to handle this, but the queens might be out. Nah, the queens will not be out in time to deal with this Reaper. So it's going to have to be some good drone micro, some good ling micro. There's that second set on the way for a Suppy, and here comes the Reaper popping right on in. The lings chasing it away. Not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. Actually doing some really good micro on display right now. It is Polt. Has he taken any hits at all? No. Yes, he did take 1 hit. KD8 charge knocking up is going to get a drone kill. No! Last second change into a Spore Crawler. Nicely done, keeping that sucker alive. Speed's on the way. There's the queen popping on out, and Polt taking some shots. He might lose this if he's not careful, but no, Polt is always careful. Who am I fooling? Who am I trying to fool there? 16 hit points left on that guy. Was able to kill a single ling, but did not actually kill a worker, as we can see here. Workers killed, 0 for both players. So now we're moving into more of a macro stage from Polt. He's got his starport, he has his factory, he's going to go ahead and get some Hellions here. I have to imagine, oh no, actually, Tech Lab. I was thinking that would probably be a reactor. We'll have to see what he does with this thing here. Just because he does like to double pump out Hellions on occasion, and the starport also double pumping Medivacs and Liberators. But that Tech Lab makes me think maybe it's going to be a tank, maybe this is going to be a Banshee. Nope, tank. Immediate tank coming out here from Polt. So that again is a little bit surprising, but I have to imagine Suppy will be ready for that one. Has he scouted at all since that initial, no, that initial poke with the Overlord, that was it. And look, Polt is actually taking his third up here. So I guess I should say that Protoss, as this guy tried to do some stuff against the Speedlings, Protoss and Terran, if it's an early third, they'll probably go ahead and skip this and just throw one right up there. Just because they don't have the units to knock down this before they need to take the third in their build order. So here we go. Suppy is waiting up to take this base on something. I don't know what. He has enough minerals to do it. He's getting a lair. He's getting an extractor. I don't think there's a reason for him to hold off on this, but he's getting, I guess he maybe wants his evolution chambers first. He's been sitting here for a while now, and he did send the lings out. So the lings are going to try to knock down these rocks, which is kind of surprising. You don't usually see a small group of 3 lings trying to do that thing, but here comes the flying tank pressure from Polt. This might be a pretty good map to do this, actually. So here they come. They do get scouted by the lings, though, and the tank wants to kill them, which is kind of surprising. And not able to get the other one. Does manage to escape on out of there. Suppy still hasn't taken his third. I don't know why. And here comes the flying tank. There are 3 queens, though. Again, the key here for the queens is you want to take down the medevac. Don't worry about the tank. You're not going to kill the tank in time. If you kill the medevac, the tank is dead anyway because it can't run away. So, go ahead and focus down that medevac if you're a Zerg player dealing with this one. We do have some queens running all over the dirt in your place. And for some reason, once again, Suppy, there we go. Suppy now takes his third base. For some reason, Polt is trying to knock down these rocks, this rock tower combination here, and I'm not sure why he would want to keep Suppy inside his own base if that's exactly what he's doing. So Lings come out, get a couple shots off on that. Ooh, there we go. Polt almost losing that that siege tank. It can happen pretty darn quickly if you're not careful. The DPS on Lings is pretty darn awesome. Trying to boost on in here. Find a place where he can knock down those rocks. Nice juke. Juking back on in and landing, and there's a second delay. Bam. One more shot. I think he's got it. And he does. He knocks down the rocks. Now these Lings are trapped outside. The Queens are trapped inside. These rocks also keep everybody in the Zerg base inside here. So I'm not sure why Polt would bother doing that. I mean, I guess it does keep the Lings busy, so they can't necessarily harass up here, which is something they would otherwise be doing, as there's nothing here defending. That's interesting. I mean, there are Marines out for base defense. I do see a lot of barracks coming up. Polt is very, very heavy fan of that bio style. And more tanks coming up. Double medevac being produced too. +1/+1 on those engineering bays. Yep, Polt knows exactly what's going on. And both players playing pretty quick. An average APM of over 400 for Suppy, over 280, closer to 3 for Polt in this one too. Sneaking up here once again is our tank. I guess maybe he's going to try to kill stuff that comes to deal with the rocks. It's an interesting strategy. I like it. I kind of like what he's doing here. Here comes a big Roach Ravager push though, getting right on in, knocking down these rocks. Corrosive Bowels being tossed down, assisting with that effort. Viking flying around does have a single kill. I assume he killed an Overlord previously. This tank boosting on over. He wants to save the rocks. Not going to happen. Here we come. A Roach Ravager Ling push. Pushing right on in here and going to come up this ramp. All that is here is a tank and a few Marines. I'm not sure if there's enough here for Polt. Corrosive Bowels landing on down and almost taking down that tank. The tank is gone. The tank is completely out of there. All that's left here are a bunch of Marines with Stim, with the combat shield. And that's it. I mean, Roach's Ravager is doing pretty well in this particular situation here. The Viking trying to snipe down the Overseer just in case there are Widow Mines available, which is a very intelligent decision here. Corrosive Bowels landing and actually going to be almost killing that Viking. Polt waited until just the last second to move that thing. That was funny. All right, so third base up and running here. Income tab for these players, 59-45 in favor of the Terran player, which is always crazy. So crazy, but he's been really keeping up on his mules, keeping up on his SCV production, making 3 at a time right now. Whereas Suppy is making 20 Lings. He wants more Lings here. And I think he can do this thing. So Roach's Ravager is actually getting a nice angle here, coming on in with the concave and taking out one of those medevacs on the high ground. There are 2 tanks. SCVs forced to pull to try to deal with this as well. Corrosive Bowels landing, saving them at the last second. Once again, is Polt. A lot of SCVs are dying. Backing out is Suppy. Might try to threaten the third base where there are no tanks to defend. And yeah, going to be able to get that full evacuation on that third right now. A lot of attacks going down. A lot of dead SCVs there. Some of them did manage to escape. A liftoff forced on that third base too. We have some Queens coming out to help with this assault. And these rocks actually got knocked down. I think Polt might have done that as well. But either way, nobody's using the outside now. They're all coming right through this middle. So having knocked up that third, essentially destroying it, Suppy's got to be feeling pretty good about himself right now. It's 130-90 total supply. Tank fire on the Queens. Here come the Lings. Here come the Roaches. Here come the Ravagers on the high ground. Are the tanks? Is it enough to hold this? Corrosive Bowels landing and killing one of the tanks. Another one does manage to survive. The Marines desperately stutter-stepping their way back into their own main base. The Overseer looking and trying to find what it can, but it takes a couple hits from Corrosive Bowels. The tank is gone. All that's left here are a few Marines, but no, another tank pops out of that factory, taking out a supply depot, trying to kill as many of these workers as they can, sending a small group of Lings to do that, going after a factory here too. Suppy's attention does seem to be split just a little bit at this point. Does he have any more resources coming on over? Any more units? I don't know if he does, but the Corrosive Bowels are intense, trying to kill everything that he can. The medevac count is fairly high, but that Marine count is super low. The factory does end up exploding. Right now it is 44-45 Harvesters, so Suppy is up in that worker count, having knocked down that third. Again, got to feel pretty good about himself. Reinforcing Roaches coming across the map, +1/+1 on those units here too, +1/+1 on the Marines. But once again, Roaches and Ravagers really good against Marines. Really good against Marines. Nice concave once again coming on in. Corrosive Bowels dodged ably, but once again I think just being used to zone by Suppy. 124-97 total supply, continuing with his aggression. He is all over the place. Tanks from the high ground trying to splash down everything that he can, doing great against the Roaches, not as well against the Ravagers. Here come some Liberators with some Defender mode circles here. The Marines standing right on end, focusing on the Ravagers. First of all, recognizing the threat that they are to his economy here. Might lose that refinery, might lose a supply depot. Is it enough to supply block Polt? And yes, it does supply block Polt. No more production for him, at least for just a second here. More and more roaches just staying outside of the circles, outside of those defender mode circles if they can. Again, a lot of Marines are dying, but they're managing to take a lot of Ravagers with them too. No more Ravagers left at all. Small group of roaches coming on in here. And is there a way to maybe force a destruction on that third base too? Suppy continuing with the pressure. Army supply right now is 54 to 71 in favor of our Zerg player. Setting up again the defender mode circles on the ramp. Ravagers getting morphed in again here, and I just don't know. I don't know that Polt can do this thing. He's got +3 attack on the way. Man, only Polt would be doing +3 while being under attack for this long. Here come a ton of Lings, and they do. They're going to set it up here, try to come on into the main base, not worrying about the Liberators at all, just walking through. Corrosive Biles being landed and killing. No, not killing any of the Liberators, actually. Be so careful here, Suppy. Be so darn careful. Losing a lot of stuff. Coming from the backside are the Marines, and all the Ravagers are gone, and that's it. A GG. GG from Suppy. Suppy's defeated. Polt is victorious. And he wins the game today. Wow. What a hold there by Polt. Suppy. Oh, I thought you had it, man. I thought you had it. You could have locked this base down, sat on your 3 bases, continued with that pressure of the Roaches and the Ravagers. At the very least, maybe getting a Spire for some Corruptors at some point. But you had the SCV, you had the worker count lead, 45 to 41. But I guess Suppy was just kind of going for a 3-base all-in with Roach Ravager, and it didn't quite work out for him. So, tough beans. A tough loss there for Suppy, but man, Polt, once again, incredible hold. I would have wet my pants if I was him. It looked like there was nowhere to go. The Liberators popping out were a massive, massive help, though. Huge help. 5 kills, 6 kills each on those guys. That tank has 2. These Marines, can't make it more Marines to replace the ones that died, but it seemed like these guys never, ever died. So, that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. And guess what? We're going to go ahead and stick around for game number 2 because this one was short. We'll combine it to make a, an actual good size Legacy of the Void daily upload. So I'll be right back in just a couple seconds, and please bear with me. Welcome back, StarCraft fans. This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with part 2 of our daily doubleheader. This is a game between PtitDrogo and Railgan on Dusk Towers. In the top side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Railgan, representing Rumady Gaming. And in the bottom side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is PtitDrogo from My Insanity. Alright, so 2 of the more popular players on my channel. I'd say that Railgan has a lot of followers among my Zerg fans. And our Protoss fans are also big people that love the PtitDrogo. Alright, so a ZVP on Dusk Towers. I feel like I haven't done a ZVP in a while. Actually, a lot of ZVT, some TVPs as well, a couple mirror matchups, just to keep things going. And, quick pause. Looks like PtitDrogo needed. We don't see that in the replay, though. Just is recorded for posterity in the chat log here. Heading on over, going for a hatchery first. And once again, what we've seen from PtitDrogo on this map against Zergs especially is, yes, going Nexus first. He is safe to take the Nexus first because he can just wall this off if he needs to. And what that does is actually counter what Railgan is trying to do with the hatch first play. It actually keeps PtitDrogo on a macro level with Railgan despite this hatch first from the Zerg player. The only way that Railgan can actually deal with this is going for a 3rd hatch. Like right now. Like a 3rd hatch before pool kind of a thing. But Railgan is not scouting. He doesn't know about that Nexus first. He's going to go ahead and throw down that spawning pool. So what this does is it does give Railgan some advantage in the early game. But PtitDrogo's defensive abilities are strong enough to where he can hold out any kind of a 2-base attack from Railgan while holding on to this Nexus first play. As we can see here, already has a gateway coming up. Already has 2 assimilators running. Well, 1.5 assimilators running. He'll get a Cyber Core next, and he will be in just fine position to deal with anything that Railgan wants to do to him. So right now, Railgan might think, yeah, I went hatch first. I'm in the lead, but he's not. And this one is coming up, so that's good. I mean, it's not as early as I would expect it to be if he had known this was a Nexus first play from PtitDrogo, but still, it's early enough. I think Railgan is going to be okay. Again, doing this blind scares me to death against Protoss. Hatch first I'm okay with, but going this 3rd hatch here, right at before the 2-minute mark, yeah, the spawning pool is up. Yes, there is the ability to get Lings and Queens out to defend against whatever PtitDrogo is trying to do, but whew, just seems a little bit gutsy, a little bit risky, in my personal opinion. So here is that Cybernetics core. Once again, the Protoss tech choices get more interesting once that Cyber Core is done. Actually is making a Zealot, which I'm not sure why he's doing that one, because, yeah, I guess there could be some Lings coming out to kill him soon, but, I mean, not soon enough to really matter. You can probably get an Adept out in the time it took for this Zealot to come out. Anyway, the Overlord does scout in, sees exactly what is going on here, and where's that tech? There it is, Stargate opening. Stargate opening from our friend PtitDrogo. Going to go ahead and get some of those Oracles, some of those Void Rays, possibly. Have seen some Void Rays recently in the channel. Anyway, Alright, getting a quick plug for my book. If there's a link in the description to it, it is about time travel, it is science fiction, it's pretty fun stuff. And it is for the Kindle. So if you have a Kindle or the Kindle app available on your iPhone or Android device, both of those are free, then you can read it there wherever you are. It's so wonderful. Anyway, link in the description from Amazon. I would appreciate the support and just letting me know what you think about it if you do take the time to read it. Lings inside, lings in. Oh, PtitDrogo! He did not have that Zealot on a hold position, but the Ling... No, the Ling dies before we can get that full scout off. It did not find the Stargate, was exactly what he was looking for. This Overlord could probably scout in and see it. Is there a mothership core at all right now? There it is. Just now getting his mothership core is PtitDrogo. Alright, so what do we have back here? More and more gateways coming up. We have Evolution Chambers, double Evolution Chamber for Railgan. Both players are really settling in for a very solid macro-style game here so far, which I really do appreciate on my channel. Phoenix is out, reveals the choice of Stargate. Do Railgun recognizes exactly what is up. This is a real Phoenix. This is actually killing my pneumatized Carapist Overlord. He's scouting on things. He does see the double gateways here. And that's all he needs to see. He's going to go ahead and die. Did he actually? I mean, he doesn't know where it is, right? He does. He knows where it is. Okay, so good scout there. Great scout with the pneumatized Carapist. Baneling Nest on the way for Railgun. What? That's a Baneling Nest. I just double-clicked these. I thought Evolution Chamber, but no. That's actually a Baneling Nest. I have not seen a Baneling Nest in a ZVP for a while. Unless you're trying to kill Adepts and trying to kill Zealots, which is fine. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just... Alright, we'll see how that works out for him. Does have a Spore Crawler coming up in all three of his mineral lines, as we saw as I was clicking around there. Ling's on the way, +1 attack on the way for Railgun. And the Phoenix production is continuing for PtitDrogo. What comes on in? A Ling tries to come on in and kill some stuff. Mothership Core finishes it off. A little sad. And so 2 Phoenix not going to be able to do too much. Not against a Queen, not against a Spore Crawler here. Trying to find idle things that they can pick up are these Phoenix, but not going to happen at all. They might be able to get a couple of workers here on the gas, and yeah, they do. They take out 1, 2. Can they get the third one? Yeah, I guess the third one. One of those Phoenix is very low on health, but good micro. Once again on display by PtitDrogo. It's 53 to 48 total harvesters in favor of the Protoss player. APM for these players pretty darn high, if I do say so myself. And popping back on down are these Phoenix, having killed themselves 4 drones. Definitely starting to pay for themselves and allowing PtitDrogo to take a third base of his own. So now PtitDrogo wants to see if there's a way that Railgun can take a 4th, or when he does, if he does, where it's going to be. Railgun does not seem to be interested in doing that. He has quite a bit of minerals here. So where he could take one, but the Phoenix are, I mean, they're basically all-seeing right now. They're all-knowing. Hydralisk Den scouts that on out, kills more of the drones on the gas. Does Railgun replace these is our question. He only has 1 on this extractor. Now he has 0 on that extractor. He replaced these ones fairly quickly, and those ones too. Okay, so both extractors do get fully pulled up, and then the Phoenix come in and kill them once again. Round 2 of drone killing today. 9 drones killed. Yeah, Railgun has 10 in production, so he's going to go ahead and pick up and take the lead in the worker count, 69 to 66. The Phoenix are still being so annoying here. PtitDrogo has no interest at all in going for a Spire. He's not making one. He's getting centrifugal hooks. He's getting muscular augments for his Hydras. He's going to try to deal with these Phoenix with Hydralisks, but they have absolutely kept him trapped inside his own base for so long. Warp Prism coming up. Immortals in production as well. +1 attack coming in for PtitDrogo. He knows what he's doing, and he's doing it well. Just absolutely massacring this worker count. He's killing so many drones, and he's not lost a single Phoenix to this point. He's not lost anything, actually. This has been a masterful display of Phoenix control. How many does he have here? He has 7, so it seems a little bit higher than I would expect to see from those Phoenix, but still, they're being effective. They're paying for themselves as far as I'm concerned. Army supply right now is about 2,000, 1,000 for PtitDrogo, 1,000, 4,000, or 400 rather for Railgun. So Railgun has the bigger army. Railgun has the better economy at this point too. Well, maybe not. I guess it's 3 base to 3 base, fairly even at that point. But the number of workers killed has just been super duper good. I mean, yeah, that's just more dead drones. All right, so the Phoenix do back the heck on out of there. The Hydra count is high enough to where maybe a concern for those Phoenix. They might just head on home and see what they can do to defend against this one. So the good thing about the Phoenix is even if they're Hydras on the field, you can lift them and hit them, and they do take extra damage because they're light units. Well, don't do that! Oh, Phoenix Ball, why? Oh, Phoenix Ball. 3 of them died there. 4 of them? Possibly? No, I think it was just 3. There were 7. Now there are 4. One was very low on energy. That was not a good move by PtitDrogo. Was not paying attention. Was not babysitting well enough. An adept drop in the main base going after some of these drones. Trying to defend. Our Hydra is trying to defend. Is a Queen managing to force it to pick up and boost the heck on out of there. And here we go. It's going to be a Bane. What the heck? A Baneling Hydra attack here. Alright, +1 missile attack is on the way. I'm not sure if Railgan is trying something new, but there are Archons, there are Immortals, there are Zealots. The Banelings are trying to get in and crash into everything. Good force fields! Oh! Oh, perfect force fields. The Banelings do crash on a couple of the Zealots, but wow, sniping down that Mothership core. More Banelings morphing on in here too. Can they snipe down that one Archon? Yes! They get the Archon. The Banelings going to crash on top of an Archon and Immortals. Not where they want to be. They really want to kill the Sentry. They did. They killed the Sentry. Hydra is continuing to push on up here. Another drop back here with Adepts, trying to kill everything. There's really nothing defending at all. PtitDrogo holding on 2 fronts at once here, doing very well at it. Sniping down a Zealot, heading up to try to defend against this. The Warp Prism is gone. A couple Adepts in here trying to make some mischief at the same time. Not going to happen. Here come the Phoenix once again, picking up and killing more and more drones. 29 drones have been killed so far. The Hydras are forced to retreat. PtitDrogo looking pretty darn fancy and taking his own 4th base to mirror the 4th base that Railgan has already taken here. A couple more of the Phoenix die. Total number of 5. There are 2 remaining. PtitDrogo I don't think is going to replace them. He'd rather use that gas on things like Archons and these Immortals. It's pretty much just an Archon Immortal Zealot combination, which good. I feel like maybe a Roach Hydra play would be pretty darn good here, but the Baneling Hydra instead is what Railgan is trying to do. He's down 68 to 56 harvesters. There's 147 and 131 total supply. He is down big time. If he can't kill this 4th base and saturate his own 4th, I don't know how he's going to win this game. The Warp Prism continuing to do some mischief here. There's a Spore Crawler and a Spine Crawler and a Hydra. Nope, there was a Hydra. Not actually going to happen anymore here. Lings, Banelings trying to come on up here. I just don't know what Banelings are going to do against the Immortals and the Archons. Rolling right on in, crashing on top of everything. A lot of dead Zealots there. Trying to come on in. Yeah, the Zealots are gone. The Hydras have a nice concave, but that is a lot of Immortal. That is a lot of Archon. And by a lot, I mean 1. More Banelings in on top of the Zealots. Hey, crushing all those Zealots out. Exactly what Railgan wanted to do there, but does choose to retreat once again. Regroup with more of these Banelings. He has spent a lot of money on Banelings. Woo! A lot of money on Banelings. Resources lost 5,000 to 2,000 for PtitDrogo, 6,000 to 2,000 for Railgan, and 33 drones have died. Is that another attack? Another attack by PtitDrogo. He's just been everywhere. Super aggressive with his Warp Prism technology. Yeah, alright. So, +3 ground weapons on the way for PtitDrogo. Boop, sniping down that Warp Prism. Yikes. Hung out there a little bit too long. The Hydras did see what was going on. They have +1 attack, but no +1 carapace, using all of his gas on Banelings. And again, I'm not sure if this is Railgan trying to experiment or what, but so far I guess it's doing okay. It's just he's definitely lagging behind. That Immortal count is really big. Also, there's Templar here. I'm not sure if they're going to be used for Storm, and they're not, as Storm has not been researched, nor is it being researched. The Phoenix are still killing stuff. They got a Queen. They got a Queen. So it looks like PtitDrogo did replace a couple of his Phoenix anyway. He has killed 36 workers. It is 68 to 55 total supply. Here we go. Railgun, Banelings crashing on everything. Time Warp being used. The Hydras are trying to deal with the Archons and the Immortals by themselves, but they are outnumbered, I think, by Archons and Immortals. Banelings sniping down those Zealots, but that is so much gas lost, and it wasn't really enough to clean up the rest of the army here. Another big attack. Phoenix sniping down. The Hydras looking bad as well. 149 to 89 total supply. Units tab does show us our Zerg player has 4 Hydras, 3 Lings, and a partridge in a pear tree, or he would if he had anything else. The Phoenix still trying to fly around here. Archons and Immortals hanging out. Zealots sitting on top here too. And it is officially 4 base to 4 base, but it's 68 to 55 Harvesters. The income tab is definitely favoring our Protoss player right now, especially in gas, which is so important both to Protoss and to Zerg. I mean, he hasn't replaced the workers on that extractor. He does have 5 fully established extractors. Nothing over here either, though. Once again, the Phoenix come flying right on in. They might just straight up supply block Railgun. There's a Spore Crawler here, and there are some Hydras stutter stepping, trying to kill a Phoenix. Can't quite pull it off. Can't quite pull it off there at all. Creep spread looking okay for Railgun. Probably not where it should be at this point in the game, but again, he's not a huge fan of the creep spread from what we've seen in the previous casts. Trying to take a 5th base, it looks like Railgan is. He is very mineral starved, though. Once again, a worker count of 50 at the 12-minute mark is not fantastic for Legacy of the Void. A 5th base of PtitDrogo is going up unmolested. And Railgan, you got to tech switch, man. This Hydra Baling stuff is not working out for you. Get roaches. I feel like, I don't know, maybe not roaches against the Immortals, but... Alright, so the Lings coming in. They do scout this out. They try to pick off a single probe. Can they do it? No! Can't get it, but there's a cancel, weird cancel on a cannon. This is a lot of cannons PtitDrogo is throwing up. I think he really, really doesn't want to lose this base to a Ling counterattack and a Ling run by, so can't necessarily blame him. He should be safe enough here. Warp Prism with some Zealots just hanging out over here on the map. On the far side of the map, Zealot checking to make sure that Railgan does not take a 5th base of his own, and here comes a push from PtitDrogo. Sneaking up, Warp Prism going to attack at the same time. Can he sneak in here and do this thing? Zealot's going after the Baneling Nest. And is it enough to force the army back? It is. It's enough to force... Oh, some of the army back. Railgan is not fooled. He knows there's an attack coming. He sends something. He doesn't send everybody. The Baneling Nest does end up falling. The Lings are trying to deal with this thing. They have no upgrades, though. They have +1 melee. Banelings again, pretty darn good against Zealots, but just it feels like such a waste. Hydra is trying to snipe down that Warp Prism, can't quite do it. Another big attack here. Banelings rolling on in. Archons sneaking on up. PtitDrogo is up 172 to 137 total supply. He's going to be able to kill this hatchery if Railgan cannot defend it. I don't think he can. No, the hatchery falls immediately. Banelings crashing on into Immortals. They do not care at all. The Archons doing that plus damage right here. +3 attack. 47 damage versus Biological plus 47 damage. Ooh, on the splash. And that's it. A GG from Railgan. Railgan's defeated, and PtitDrogo is victorious. Did he have more stuff going on up here, too? Yep, warped in more Zealots. Yeah, so that was it. I mean, in the end, 63 drones killed. The income tab shows it was 67 to 39 harvesters. There was nothing left for Railgan. Great compositional choices here by PtitDrogo. The immortal count was massive. These guys have a lot of kills each. 8 kills, 5 kills, 10 kills. 5 kills, 12 kills, 9 kills. The Immortals, too, fairly new to the battlefield, but 6 kills, 2 kills there on that guy 4 as well. So, in the end, PtitDrogo, very, very impressive display on this 14-minute game on Dusk Towers. Well played indeed, giving hope to my Protoss fans everywhere. All right, so that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. Go ahead and check out the shirts I have in my store. I have StarCraft 2 shirts as well as Falcon Paladin shirts if you want to show your support for StarCraft 2. There's a link at the end slate here when the music is playing. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.